Okay, I'm at Tov Studios today, and today's an unusual interview. We have somebody here who's an Israeli activist for human rights, maybe a little bit of an ex-con, a would-be politician, and definitely a comedian, but somebody who's followed majorly on social media around the world with millions, I mean, talking about tens of millions of followers, the one and only Semion Grafman. Semion, shalom and welcome. Hello.
How are you doing?
How are you?
It's great to be at the channel Tov. Tov, it's good
Tov
channel.
is good, that's
which
right.
is mean that the rest of the channels, not that good.
That's right, we're good.
That's
we're
why
tov.
I'm here.
We also say in Hebrew, hachi tov, the most good.
Tov.
That's right.
The best.
Now, I am, although I speak English and Hebrew, actually people don't know that I'm a Russian Jew, and my parents are Russian Jews. So you and I have a connection because you are more overtly a Russian Jew, and everybody who really knows that you're a Ukrainian Jew.
I'm Russian Jews that Ukrainians that speak English in Israel during the Hebrew war with the Hamas. Well,
That's
it's
right.
complicated.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, so first thing, let's talk about the war in Ukraine for a second. Where were you on that, on the Ukraine war?
Listen, I tell you, and nobody heard me saying it before, in the beginning of the war, I was trying to understand what's going on.
Right.
Today, after almost 2 years, I believe that I owe an apology to Zelensky for making a lot of critics about his presidency and the way he's controlling the military and what's going on. I believe that what is going on in Ukraine, it's evil, and a lot of people dying.
From evil from which side? Some people say the Americans have pushed the Ukrainians into a war with Russia.
In every
Other people
war,
say Putin...
In every war, it's a lot of sides.
Right.
It's a lot of sides.
Right.
And that's why I was always critical also to the Russian military, also to the Ukrainian government. Today, I know that the most important in Ukraine is to start saving civilian lives of Ukrainians, try to do everything to stop the war, and to put pressure on Putin to stop conquering the land.
Right.
I don't know how to do it, because I'm telling you why I'm apologizing to Zelensky. Now, when the war broke up over here in Israel, I understood that I'm, as a citizen, as someone who living in Israel, still don't freaking understand how we get to the position that we got hurt so much on the 7th of October. And I still don't understand how we didn't beat the Hamas in the first week. But then, you know, the world putting pressure on us because of the civilian lives in Gaza. Thank God to the world that didn't put pressure on America and USSR while was bombing the Germany, the Nazi Germany. Other way, the Nazis will still exist today.
That's right.
And this is what the world should remember today, that Gaza is freaking Nazi Germany of 45. And if we need to bomb them to make sure all the rats in the tunnel dead, that's what the free world should do. Because all the terrorist organizations today in the world using our democracy against us.
That's right.
They using our freedom of speech, freedom of thought, freedom of rights against us. They simply conquering us with our love. Look what's happening today in Europe. I think Europe gained by 7 October of attack to see what's going to start happening in Europe if they're not going to wake up. They should learn from us.
But they already had in France, they had big riots.
Yes, but they still
In
didn't
London?
understand. They still sleeping. They still thinking it's going to pass somewhere around. It will not.
What is it? You say it's going to pass. What is it?
The terrorist organization.
The jihad?
The jihad. The Islam, not all Islam, the Kitsuni, how I say Kitsuni?
Extreme.
Extremists. The Islamic extremists, they don't care if you're Jew, they don't care if you're Christian, they even don't care if you're Muslim. If you're standing on their way, they want to kill you. They don't want to educate you, they want to kill you. The difference between us and Islamists that we trying to do everything to survive. They trying to do everything to kill us. We're not equal. You cannot equal.
And what about the civilian population? People will tell you a lot of times, okay, you can fight the terrorists, but what about the moms and the kids and all that kind of stuff? That's a big thing that the West limits us on, right?
Exactly.
They say we can't fight a real war. Like, you can't bomb them because you got that civilian population problem.
Yes, but all what you should do, it's not listen to all the news channels and say, oh, civilians. You can go to YouTube and just look how these civilians react when we are died on October 7, when it was terror attack on September 11. These civilians was happy. They praised Allah for killing civilians people. These civilian people voting for Hamas to rise to power.
Okay.
These civilian people went at 11 and 12 o'clock at noon from Gaza to our Israeli territories to rape, kill, take hostages, and take everything from the
Steal
Jews.
stuff.
Steal stuff. Forget it. Steal stuff. Steal how much you want. But rape and kill people. You civilian after this? No. You're not.
Let me ask you this. You're a Russian Jew, right? Or Ukrainian Jew, but we'll call you Russian Jew for the sake of the program.
It doesn't matter where I am. I'm Jew.
That's right. No, but for this question, it is important. Because there's something about Russian Jews that is more aggressive against bad guys. We see it with Lieberman, the way he talks anyway. We
He's
see
Moldovan.
He's Moldovan, that's right. Moldovi Bichlal, right? That's right. But there's a more aggressive attitude that Russian Jews have always had. At the same time, we even see how Putin dealt with Chechnya. There's something in the Russian culture that's more aggressive against bad guys. Are you disappointed as an Israeli in the level of aggressiveness, like you said in the beginning, that like we haven't destroyed the Hamas yet totally? How can that be? Like, is the Russian side in you say, hey, what the heck is going on? We should be creaming these guys.
Wow, this is very complicated, very deep question. We should cream this guy. I think we're losing the opportunity every day that it passes on. It's 40 days of the war, 41 days of the war. The world forget the 7th of October. The world beginning to forget what they didn't even wanted to listen in the first place. We're losing this propaganda. What I mean propaganda, our side, because we are trying, even in our military, to be very fair, to be nice. We consider, we taking in account to lose our sons in the army, but to save Palestinian children, women. We're not taking risks. We're going into the houses.
But is that good or not good? That's what I'm asking you as a Russian type Jew.
That's the problem.
Right.
From the God perspective, it's very good what we're doing. It's what making us different from jihadists. But from the real life that we live in now, it's hurting us by then. And we are producing to the world also only good things, only things that we're trying to do. But the pro-Palestinian propaganda shows horrible fake movies that we Jews killing them by the time. We knocking on the houses. We calling them. We asking them, please, stay away from this building. Hamas have rockets there. Please. And if they don't go, we don't bomb. But the world don't see it. Because, listen, we know that Hamas leaders own $14 billion. If really the world would wake up, they would freeze their account.
That's right.
These rats from Hamas, they don't even live in Gaza. They live in Qatar. And Qatar trying to sit with one, ass on two chairs. From one side, they welcome everyone from everywhere in the world. But from another side, you giving place to hide to the people who say that to kill women, to rape women, to kill children, it's okay. And you know what they always say? That we conquered their land, that's why they doing it.
Is that the reason?
Did you ever, you know what? Let me
Is
fly.
it because of the occupation?
Let me fly with it. Okay, you know what? Let me pretend that it is okay. Did you ever see, ever in history of the world, somebody robbing the bank. Let's say we Jews, we rob the land. Oh! And the bank, the guy who work at the bank, he trying to rape somebody who robbing them. No, it's not. The world is so confused. We left the Gaza a few years ago.
Right.
Many years ago.
Yeah. 2005.
Almost 20 years.
That's right.
Freaking 20 years. It's but by the American count, it's 2 generations that you growing up your kids. We know that they teaching their kids to hate.
That's right. And they teach them jihadism. It's not about liberation of land. It's about destroying Israel altogether.
That's why in Gaza, you don't have civil population. All civilians in Gaza grew up to be militants. From little kid to the older woman.
Right.
That's the problem.
Okay. Now, you mentioned something there in the middle, and you kind of left it for a second. Got to bring you back to something very important. One of your main avenues of activism has been on social media.
Yes.
You're getting the messages out.
Yes.
But at the same time, you admitted that the Palestinian side, the Hamas side, has done an amazing job at getting their messages out, what you call propaganda. Now, there's studies that are showing that TikTok is showing 5-to-1 or 10-to-1 more pro-Hamas videos than pro-Israel videos.
I don't know where you get this information.
There was a study that was done recently.
It's 500 to 1.
What?
Not 50, 500 to 1. But don't forget, Jews in the world, me and you.
So do we have a chance? Do we have a chance to win this battle? And here's the question. Where do you get your news? How do you get your information? How do you get the stuff that you consume? We're not just what we are interested in. We're also under God, but we're also under what I call the almighty algorithm, right? The almighty algorithm decides what we see. So how do we get proper news? How do we get actually informed? How do you get your messages out as opposed to the other guy?
What I'm doing differently on my Facebook account, and I reached more than 42 million different people in the world, in Pakistan, in India,
in Indonesia,
in Indonesia,
right. Philippines,
everywhere.
It's amazing.
Because when I'm starting my videos, I'm saying my Muslim brothers and sisters. I'm Semion Grafman, I'm Jewish, but I'm not your enemy. You are not my enemy. Our common enemy is Hamas. And Hamas, it's not Muslim organization. Because to be Muslim, to be Jew, first you need to be a human being. Hamas simply not qualified. They not human. Not by Islamic religion, not by Christianity, not by the Jewish religion. They raping, they killing, they targeting civilians.
Decapitating children's heads.
I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
But every normal person in the world, doesn't matter if he's Jew, Christian, or Muslim, he understands that my words are right. That's why they sharing it and they loving it. Because 85% of the Muslim community don't like to see what Hamas doing.
Interesting.
And they don't want to see it, but they don't get in this news.
Answer my question about
Yes.
getting the right news.
Right news.
How do you get the right news out there?
Today it's not such a thing, right news.
Healthy news,
Because-
true news, truth.
True news. Every news channel that belong to the government will say what the government demand from him.
Right.
People thinking it's have free speech for the news. News doesn't have free speech. But the channels, like Top Channel, where we are right now, this is private organizations that paying for it. People, citizens giving money for us
That's right.
to give them little bit light, little bit truth in this propaganda, disinformation, in this wall. And like you said, the algorithm, how you say it in English, it's exactly like a prayer to the God. Whatever you pray for, it's what you get. That's how Facebook, TikTok build. Whatever you searching, you will find. Whatever you watching, you will get more of it. Stop watching horrible propagandas, horrible videos. Start watching spiritual, healthy thing, like Channel Tov. This channel giving us light against all the channels that trying just to scare us, to make us that little so they can control us. And this is what we're fighting against. That's why I'm here, because here is the light.
That's what we said. It's Tov. And actually, there's an easy way to continue to see that light, and that's by subscribing to our English channel, which is called Tov Jewish News Channel. Very simple. And certainly subscribe to Semion Grafman, who's doing a great job out there for Israel, for Hasbara, but also for truth. And for the Jews?
For the Jews, for the Jews, for the Christian, for the Muslims, because we all human beings. And you know how I know that we are winning this war? Not by propaganda. Little by little, we win there too. When your opponent don't want to have a conversation, when he want to kill you, it's mean you won already.
Okay, Semion Grafman giving us a little bit of hope that we're already winning, and also giving us a lot of strength to keep watching healthy, true things here from a Jewish perspective at the Tov channel. God bless you. Thank you very much, Semion.
God bless all of you. God bless Christians, Muslims, Jews, all of us. And God give us a lot of light in our life and a lot of strength.
All right. Thank you very much. God bless you guys, and shalom.